Welcome everybody out there on the Twitters, wherever you guys are watching us or listening to us from the audio feed. We are back from the center cut to cover the Waste Management Open. I am joined by my co-host at Joe Butter, and also making a return and going to be on this show for the foreseeable future is Griffin Connor. How you boys doing today?
We're doing, my friend.
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Whew. What a week last week at the Farmers Insurance. Patrick Reed, the guy that was the most polarizing player and probably the most polarizing villain in sports right now, wins by 5 shots, completely dominates the field. But the big storyline was what happened on Saturday at the 10th hole, where he picked up his ball from an embedded lie, said the lie was embedded. People caused a firestorm. He was accused of cheating like he's been done in the past. His character's brought into question. It was just an absolute shit show. But hey, it brought a lot of press to the PGA Tour. Everyone was talking about it. So I want to get your guys' takeaways from the start. I'm going to ask Griffin. Griffin, what do you think of the Patrick Reed situation?
Just a good old-fashioned foot wedge. I mean, that's the only way to describe it. I mean, see, Patrick Reed's been involved in so many instances where, cheating or whatever you want to call it has been brought up. And I feel like it's I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. They're saying he didn't see it go in and all that stuff that happened, like the whole embedded thing. And he called the rules official over after he already picked it up. But it's like, dude, you're a professional golfer. There's TV cameras all around you. There's rules officials there. This isn't your local, 9-hole course. Whatever, 9-hole, like Thursday night beer league. This is like PGA Tour. You can't be doing stuff like that.
No, and it goes back again. Like, personally, like, I found it kind of funny that everyone was super triggered over it. And, like, quite honestly, the only people that really have a right to be mad are, like, the people, like, the players. Like, all these commentators going out and everything and getting absolutely triggered by it. I just don't. Again, like how Jim Nantz acted was absolutely disgraceful, in my opinion, because I just think personally he just needed to stay unbiased, and for him not to congratulate Reed after the win was terrible. It's just unbelievable. Personally, I'm not a golf purist by any means, so I wasn't like super triggered by it. Because I bring it up again, I'm going to ask you about it. So, like, with all these guys on tour, like obviously like Rahm, Reed, all these guys get followed by the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
And like, for example, like Rory Sabatini, because we all know the PGA Tour coverage stinks. Like, Rory Sabatini misses the fairway? Is he just kicking his ball to the fairway when he misses like when he's like 2 over on Friday trying to make the cut? Like, and I like not saying Rory Sabatini's that type of guy, but there's so much lack of coverage and lack of people watching that I feel like that Reed was put under such a microscope, and players found that he was following the rules to a T. And I personally thought that he took advantage of it. I personally think that if he just went on there and admitted, like, hey, look, like, I'm sorry, like, what's going on in the past isn't who I am, and I'm going to change. If he went back and did that, I think that would say a lot for his character, but he obviously won't. He's one of the most smug villains in the world, and I absolutely love it. I'm here for the Patrick Reed. For a guy that wins a lot on tour, now he has 9 wins in 9 years on tour. Huge equity, very underrated player. It's just unbelievable. Do you have anything to add to it?
He's just someone who's not going to come out and say what he did was wrong. Listen, all benefit of the doubt, yes, what he did technically in the sense of the word, he like did not make a mistake. He might have not seen what happened. His playing partners didn't see what happened, and they went off of like what they were doing. That's going to happen at every level, from basically like high school golf up. If something happens, it's the players within the group that are going to make a decision. The problem that I have is what you're saying. Yes, the PGA Tour, there's a lack of coverage. You have groups that you don't see anything that's going on in the entire day unless something like this happens with them. But I feel like, Reed's got to know, like, listen, I've been involved with so many of these issues before, whether he did them intentionally or not. Like, a camera's probably going to be on me. And I feel like before you do anything like that, you got to go to the rules official. like I said, I don't think that what he did was technically wrong in the sense that people are saying what he did was, not against the rules technically, but next time someone needs to come in there and they need to check things over before he just willy-nilly picks balls up and goes, oh, it was embedded. So that's how I look at it.
No, and I want to ask Joe too. Joe, what do you think of the situation regarding Patrick Reed?
Sorry, man, I'm having some serious Wi-Fi issues right now. I don't know. I mean, it's great for golf, I think, because golf needs some sort of controversy to, remain as relevant as we want it to be. I thought it was a little weird what he did. I mean, when he picked up the ball and just kind of held it in his hand and then threw it to the side, I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he kind of did what you're supposed to do. It was a little fishy that he was digging his finger down into the hole. That part was fishy, but at the same time, I mean, I've never hated Patrick Reed. I've never loved Patrick Reed. I'm kind of indifferent, and bring on the controversy because it makes it more entertaining.
No, yeah, and the thing, and I just want to follow one point, is the fact of the matter is, if he was in this group, would say like that group, it was two rookies. It was like Will Gordon, and I forget who was, and Carlos Ortiz. So that was the group he was in on that Saturday. And my thing is, if he was playing with like Rory and Rahm, he wouldn't pull that shit. Like,
no,
for sure.
It's just the fact of the matter is that like he saw that he was playing with like two rookies or two like not outspoken guys, and he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go out and do this shit. And if they're gonna speak up on it, then so be it. They won't like regard them. They're fucking rookies. But hey, they're probably not gonna say anything because they are rookies and they don't like understand all the facets of the game. So I just think that overall, it's just a situation where there's two sides of the coin. I think it's great for the PGA Tour, and I love that there's this villain now. And if JT created a heel turn and became this villain, especially after the comments he said in the past, then this would do really well for the game. Obviously, JT won't do that, but also it's kind of two-faced too that we talk about Reed so much. But at the end of the day, like JT said what he said on camera, and it wasn't great. And I know like he's been apologetic about it, and he's a class guy, and what he did was wrong. But that didn't create nearly the same firestorm that Reed did.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, the whole JT thing that's happened. I mean, I obviously don't want to, get too deep and really, I mean, what happened was crazy. I mean, it's unfortunate. I'm not going to say that, I'm a perfect person or anyone else is a perfect person. People say things that they shouldn't say, and it comes